Hi, everybody. It's Kathy Ondas with Simply Cards by Kathy, and I'm jumping on just a minute or so early um, so that we can make sure you can see and hear me okay. If you are joining me on Facebook, right below the link there, if you click, it will allow you, if you want to leave a comment or a question, will allow you to be identified because we're streaming from StreamYard directly to Facebook and to YouTube. So I hope you're having a good day. It is Monday, May 2nd, 2022, and it's a big day because tomorrow our new catalog, the annual catalog, May 2022 to April 2023, goes live. So we are going today to make some cards using just designer series paper. Over the weekend, I was looking for some cards. I needed some cards to make, and I wanted to make something that was quick and easy. And I wanted it to the focus to be on the designer series paper. So tonight, we are going to use one of the new stamp sets that'll be out and available for tomorrow, and the designer paper. So I'm going to move this catalog out of the way because I still can't open it until tomorrow. And I'm going to bring in the stamp set for you. The stamp set that we're using is Nature's Prints. And this is one I love because I love nature. I love the different leaves that you have. And it also has the dies that I was playing with here that match along with the stamped images that you have. And you also have this beautiful wreath that you can use. Now, today we're not using much of this at all. We're using a little bit of the stamped images, but we're going to focus on the paper. And the other thing that comes with this bundle is a embossing folder, and it's called the Fern 3D embossing folder. And I'm going to open it up to see if you can see that. I'm not sure if you can, but this is one of the ones we're going to use for a layer tonight. So I wanted to bring that in for you. So I'm going to set these off to the side. And I'm going to bring in the designer series paper, at least what I have left of it. I have one sheet left of each. This comes 12 sheets, 6 different designs, 2 sheets each, and they're 12 by 12 papers. So all just very dark or rich colors. We have gray granite, night and navy, Pacific Point, and the new color Starry Night. And I'm just going to show you these one by one here. This is almost like a paint splatter. I love these images, and we're going to use this this one, and my favorite, this one this evening. Now, if we turn them over, and let's do that, you have some almost like a watercolor background. You have some gray granite in a floral. You have the new Starry Night striped, which I think is really pretty. Some more gray granite, like a marble. I'm not really sure what to call this print, but it's interesting. And then this one that has the same images that the stamps have. So I love, love, love this paper. In fact, when I place an order tomorrow, I'll be ordering another pack. So I'm going to bring in our first card. And like I said, these are really simple, easy cards. And I did a lot of the pre-cutting beforehand. Now, before I even start, I want to let you know that you're going to see some different shapes for my greetings. And some of those are from 2 different stamp sets or die sets, and they're both new. One is from the Fabulous Frames dies, And another one is from Stylish Shapes Dies. And I really like this one because it gives us a lot of variety for greetings to be able to cut out. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and we're going to start off with this paper. This one has Pacific Point in it, the new Starry Sky, and it also has the Night of Navy. Very, very pretty. And because it has that little bit of Pacific Point, I decided to use that as my card base. Now, all the measurements are going to be in the post below. Give me about an hour after the video's over, and we'll go ahead and you'll have everything there for you. So don't worry about writing it down. And also the measurements are pretty much the same for all the cards. So it's going to be easy to do. So with this one, the Pacific Point is 4 1/4 by 11. And it's scored at 5 1/2. And I did all the layers by 1/4 inches pretty much. Now, two things that you can do. You can use a plain white layer, and we can go over that, or we could emboss it. Now, two of the other cards I embossed. One I used the Time Worn type, and the other one I used the New Fern embossing folder. So this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and emboss it anyway. And just to kind of review with you, if you're not used to using our embossing folders, how to use them. This is a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put it inside the embossing folder, and I line my edge up with that black line so that I know it's straight. And then I'm going to just run over and run it through my cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to be right back. Okay, we're back, and here's, let's see if you can see that embossed image. I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our Pacific Point. And I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue for this. And this is going to be the first layer. Now, again, these cards, I was able to make 3 of them in about 20 minutes once I had all the cutting done. So quick and easy cards. So I like the glue because, for one, with the embossing, it kind of gets in the groove. So I think it sticks better than if I use any other type of adhesive, as long as I get around the edges. Okay, next I'm going to take my piece of Designer Series paper, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to go ahead and adhere that to the front also. So each of these cards just a little bit different, but very, very much alike. Now, some of this paper has direction to it, so you want to be careful when cutting it. And some of it doesn't really matter. And just going to slide that over a little bit so I can get it as even as possible. Okay, I'm going to bring in my greeting, and this one was a heartfelt thank you. And because I want the paper to do the work for me, I don't really want to add a whole lot to this. So my inside is going to be a layer of white. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And I cut a 3/8 inch strip of the matching paper so that I can just adhere it to the side here. And that's going to be my kind of like to dress up the inside a little bit, because I don't like to leave it plain. Now, because this is a thank you, I typically don't do greetings on the inside of my thank you cards, so that I can write a personalized message. And let's sheets. That way, if I do want to stamp something later on, once I know who I'm sending it to, I can go ahead and stamp it afterwards. So let's glue this down. I hope you're all having a good day. If you're out there, tell me what you're waiting to order from the new catalog. Do you have a favorite stamp set there that you're waiting for to order? I have several. We are going to pop that up with Stampin' Dimensionals. But before I do that, I want to take a, let's see, if we're going to take a piece of ribbon. Now, I think we're going to use our classic matte dots and just put a few of those on the front. And these are in the white, the gray granite, and the black. So let's pop this up and put our matte dots on, and this card will be done. Tomorrow there will be some great specials starting for anybody who may be interested in joining Stampin' Up. It is a great value for your money, especially if you are ordering anything over $99. Please look at joining, because you will get a lot more value for your money. You'll end up with several of the new products for free, plus you get to pick your $125 worth of product. I'm going to put this up here, and then let's take our dots, and I'm going to go ahead and take a big one. Oops. Let's take another one here. And I'm going to take a little one for up at the top. Well, maybe we are. Stuck to my finger. So there's our first card, a heartfelt thank you. And on the inside, we have it bare for you to write a greeting. So let's go on to our second card. Our second card, we're going to use gray granite. And this one is a happy birthday. I needed a male happy birthday. And sometimes happy birthdays for men are kind of hard to come by, or think of. So this is one that I thought would do really well. And I have a couple male birthdays coming up in the family. This is gray granite. It again is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And we're going to go ahead and just use our bone folder to get a good crisp edge on this. Now on this one, I also went ahead and embossed it using the Fern embossing folder. So we're going to apply that. And this card is going to be just a little bit different in that we're not going to be using a full layer on the front of the designer paper. We're just going to use a half layer. Let's adhere this. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to be able to help you with your stamping and crafting needs. Just go up to the top and click on the link to my website, and I would be happy to send you a catalog. Let's put this layer on. Okay. This I'm just going to move over. This layer is cut at the same length. It's 2 1/2 by 5. I also cut a white, and I did a stamped happy birthday. This I'm going to come right in here, and I want to cut this right in the middle. So I'm going to line up the indents for the point right on the score line or cutting line. And I'm just going to hold that down and cut through the middle. Okay, I'll move that out of the way. Now these I'm going to take just a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to put it right on the edge here. And I'm going to go ahead and take my this greeting, and I'm just going to set it and move it up just a little bit so it's even. So just slide it up. And we're going to do the same thing with this half. It gives it just a little bit of dimension, and it also adds a little bit to the greeting. So again, it's just going to go in here. I put the glue on the wrong side, but since it's going on the card, it won't matter. So we're going to go in here and just do the same here. And you want to get it as even as you can from the top and line it up. Whoops. There we go. Now we're going to pop this up with Stampin' Dimensionals also. But the other thing I want to do is add just a little ribbon to this, sticking to my fingers. So, and I'm just going to cut in a second here like a 3-inch piece of ribbon and just fold it in half. Let's remove these. If you liked today's video at the end, please give me a thumbs up and help me grow my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so our label is ready. We're going to bring in our card. And I have the gray granite shimmer ribbon here. So all I'm going to do is cut a little piece like this. And I'm going to cut this end too. And then I'm just going to fold it in half, and we're going to kind of go from there. Now I'm going to bring in my glue dots because I like to ensure that this is going to stay folded the way I put it. So I always put a glue dot right in the middle here, and that helps it to stay the way I'd like it to. And no one is going to see it because it's going to be under our label or greeting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put another glue dot on here. And I'm going to put this right about here. So I'm going to stick this in here. And then make sure my greeting is straight. And I'm just going to trim my ribbon. Trim this a little bit. So there's the outside of our card. Isn't that pretty? I really like that. And now let's see for the inside. We have a piece of white. Let me grab that here. Not quite sure where it went. So here's our white. And we are going to, on this one, I would like to stamp one of the leaves. I think would be really pretty. So I'm going to pull in this one that looks like a fern. And we're just going to stamp that lightly over on the edge here. And I'm going to use I have glue and ink all over my hands. I'm going to use my Night of Navy to do that. And I'm just going to come in and stamp that. Now for a birthday greeting, I didn't really have one to stamp in there because I wasn't sure who I was going to use that for in the family. So I'm going to wait to stamp that, but I'm going to go ahead and adhere this in here. And then we have our second card. If you're out there with me or you're joining in later on to watch the recording, I'd love to hear what you think of the paper. It is definitely one of my favorites, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So here's our second card. I think that's pretty, and I think it's really a nice card for a nice masculine card. So we'll put that one aside. And then our last one I'm going to bring in is with Night and Navy. And I chose that large piece of paper that I told you was my favorite. Let's see if I can grab it here to show you. This one. It cuts up beautifully to use parts of it for the front of your card. And even to use the solid background as a background for a lighter color. I just really think there's a lot you can do with that one. So I'm going to go ahead and this one is with Time Worn Type. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue, and we're going to, again, because this is embossed, adhere this to the front of the card with the multi-purpose glue. Now this card is a regular 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this one is 3 3/4 by 5. So let's go ahead and we're going to adhere this one. To the front. And then this one I'm actually making as a sympathy card. I have such a hard time with sympathy cards, and I actually needed to make one. And I thought that this paper was just beautiful and kind of quiet and tranquil. So I did stamp and cut this out with an oval. And I'm going to pop this up with Stampin' Dimensionals. Now with this card, I want to leave it kind of, I guess simplistic might be a way to describe it. But I also wanted to just give it a little bit of something extra. So what I thought we'd use is the Opal Rounds on the front of this card. I thought it would dress it up, and I want to leave that showing. And let's bring in the Opal Rounds. I'm going to reach up here and pull in this. So I thought these just are kind of elegant looking and would look really pretty with this paper on this card. So we're going to add 3. I always add 3s, and I always try to do a triangle. I'm going to do one here, and then I think I'm going to do one down here. And then the inside of my card is just white, and I stamped "Thinking of You with All My Heart." And that came from the Peaceful Moments stamp set that will still be good with the new catalog coming out. So let's get this in here, and then we're going to take a look at all 3 cards. Okay, so 3 quick and easy cards that we did in about 20 minutes. and took me maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes to cut all the pieces parts. So here's our card, and I'm going to move all this out of the way, and we're going to bring the 3 back in. Here's our first one, which is a thank you. Here's our one with deepest sympathy, and here's our happy birthday. Leave me a comment and let me know which one you like best. I hope you enjoyed today's cards. And again, please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you hit that little bell there, you'll get notified when I do videos. And I will be back on Friday for Friday Fun at 1. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.